Hey, I'm Louis Cole. In 2007, I moved into a double-decker bus and converted it not only into my home, but also a youth club on wheels and a party bus with a built-in recording studio. I worked all around London with at-risk youth and tried to provide a safe space to hang out and be inspired. Then in 2012, I acquired a retired London tour bus with a dream to convert it into an epic events bus to have parties, go on road trips to festivals, and most importantly, to put a hot tub on the top deck and fulfill a childhood dream. After it had been sitting unused for 4 years, I had finally saved up the funds to embark on the ultimate double-decker conversion project. I enlisted the help of my friend, and finally, my dream was becoming reality. Unfortunately, this project did not go to plan. It took way longer than expected, went through lots of painful and expensive iterations, and hit into many obstacles. Eventually, it overran the budget astronomically, with it costing over £100,000. After all that, the bus was only used a couple of times and then sat deteriorating and collecting dust for another 4 years as my life took an unexpected direction and I ended up travelling full time and then moving to the US. Fast forward to today and I'm beginning another new chapter of my life with my wife Raya in our eco-village in Costa Rica. We're focused on saving up money to build our dream house in the jungle and really want to find a way to make income from this bus. After much deliberation, I've decided to restore the bus and adapt it as a tiny home to rent on Airbnb. In this series, I'm documenting the project of upgrading this bus and preparing it to be an exciting getaway for people to come and stay on. So the fan is ready to be sealed on the top, but we need to wire it in first. Had we planned this all ahead, we would have run wiring all over the bus and just used that, but instead we're going to have to run the 12-volt cabling to the 240 plug and use the transformer to power the fan. And in order to do that, my dad's teaching me how to plane wood, which I haven't done much of, so I'm going to plane the edge of this so we can fit the cable underneath the pallet wood on the ceiling. So that's what we're doing. So this cable is going to run in there. I think that's all right. Nice. Let's do it. Right, we've managed to thread the wiring up through the roof. And now we're going to connect it all. Hopefully it works. Why isn't this clear which is which?
220 volts on that AC, 12 volts.
Here we go.
Oh,
Connect.
AC.
It's the wrong one, isn't it? We can't do AC, right?
No.
We bought the wrong transformer. I'm going to jump on the roof and scrub down and seal it on so we can screw that on, at least get that ready, yeah. I think we have an installed roof fan. Let's go and check it from underneath. Dad, do you want to tell us this little hack that you're going to do?
Well, there's a few cracks in the worktop here, there, and a couple of other places. So it's quite a quick hack. Super glue and the sawdust mixed together, wedged in there, and when it's sort of gone off, you can sand it over again. It's really, really hard and it works well.
Nice.
So we're just going to get this super glue down. This is quite a thick jelly one, so it's not going to pour down, but it's quite good in that it won't just disappear. To get as much of the glue down into the joint, what you can do is get your sawdust that you've been sanding the whole unit with and just sort of pop it along there. And then I'm just going to get something like a bit of an MDF wood scrap, something like that, and just push it into the glue, sort of down into the joint as well. So you're making this a mix as you go along. This dries off so quickly that within a few minutes we'll be sanding that down.
And the great thing with using the sawdust from the actual wood is it's going to match the colour completely.
So we can add some more there. I mean, as long as that's filled.
That's pretty amazing.
It's gonna be all right.
One of the reasons why we're having to do so much repair work on this kitchen worktop is because of the water damage, and that's why my dad's sanding it down and filling it with the super glue, and we're going to revarnish it. The reason why there's been water damage is because rainwater has leaked in where the hinge is, because there's nothing protecting rainwater from leaking in there. So I'm going to use this aluminium angle length to create a little gutter, a little protective gutter above that. I'm going to fix on that gutter with some sealant, and then I'm gonna self-tap screw it into the bodywork of the bus, and hopefully that will fix the problem. So I'm gonna measure it up now, cut it, stick it on just above where the vinyl is peeling off, and then it should be good to go. I'm gonna drill some pilot holes for these self-tapping screws into the piece of aluminium that I've cut, and then I can mount it with the sealant. Work surface has been sanded. It's ready for the next phase.
Yeah, just before we put the varnish on, and this is not a product placement, but Osmode worktop surfaces stuff is really, really good because it breathes microporous. Just gonna raise the grain before I sand it down last bit, just get a wet cloth. And also this gives you a look at what it might look like when it's finished. So this is what it's gonna look like. This is just water. This will give you an idea what it's like when it's finished, and also it's going to make the grain swell a bit before the last sanding. The last thing you want is to get your varnish on and it to swell and then stay all rough and swollen because of the varnish. So just do the last bit. So it's looking good. I think it's going to be alright.
Nice. Right, we forgot the paintbrush.
It's okay because it goes on right with the cloth. You might do it a little bit with the cloth anyway. It's quite forgiving.
So this is going to be the first coat.
First coat, rub it in really, really well, and not too thick. And then you can always add coat 2, 3, 2 tomorrow. And it's really nice sort of stuff to apply actually. It's quite oily.
Oh, it looks literally a million times better. Right, we've got sidetracked onto another job on the bus, which we've just been trying to figure out. So one of my thoughts was that outside there's a lot of this kind of warped breaking pallet wood, and we've just taken the fronts off this. We've started to take off the side bits because this is all rotting and warped, and it actually looks fine without it. We're just thinking we can repaint that black. We don't need to put any here, and we're thinking this whole extra ledge, is it even needed? So we might take that apart as well. So
the problem is you've got a tan line here, look. Bit of a tan line there.
That is, but I feel like if we sand that down, we'll see. Anyway, we're doing a little dismantling and seeing how we can tidy all this up and make it look nicer. Bus was first wrapped, I guess they thought the roof wasn't important to wrap, so there's a big white patch on the roof. If you're under 6 foot, you can't really see it from the deck, but you can see it from a distance, especially if you were flying a drone over it, and if you're over 6 foot, you can see it from the deck. But anyway, I'm gonna try this spray paint to see if it matches the blue wrap. But before I do that, I need to just sand down and clean this whole roof surface from all this lichen. This will come off quite easy, then I'll brush it down, wipe it, and then spray it. Clean this corner. I'm a little bit impatient. Before I clean the whole top, I just want to test to see if this is the right blue. So I'm going to clean it a little bit as well. After my little test with the spray paint, I think it's going to be really expensive to use spray paint on the whole roof. So I think I'm going to try and find some kind of oil-based cobalt blue. That's all right, isn't it? Wow, that's cool. Okay, wait for you to see this. Right, so this flaky kind of old varnish is just looking terrible. It just looks so bad. It looks like all the wood's rotting. But I just sanded here. This looks lovely. So I think I can quite quickly smash off all that varnish. So let's give it a go. Okay, the first coat of varnish has gone onto the worktop. We're now going to put the sink and cooker back in place. Oh, do you know what we should do is hoover all the dust out there first. Okay, sink back in. Right, I'm just rewiring the stove. I took a picture when I took it apart so I can put the wires back in the same place. Nice. There's still quite a lot to do, but I have tidied up downstairs, put the covers on the cushions, kind of set it up as it will be, hopefully. There's not a lot more to do down here.
You can have lunch.
Right, it's been a few days since I first cut the hole in the roof and dropped the fan in, and we've finally got the correct transformer. This is a 240 volt to 12 volt DC 5 amp transformer. It says LED driver, but we're using it to power the fan. So I'm just going to wire this in, and then I should be able to put the bottom plate on, and it should be powered and ready to go. So let's do it. Right, so I've got my 240 going in, 12 volts coming out. Just to lock those in place. Okay, I'm gonna test it now. It's working. Did it. Yeah. So, we've got 30 minutes more today, and we've got quite a lot to finish off still. I think I'm going to paint this with blackboard paint. Here we go, chalkboard paint. Today, the bus needs to be finished off and prepared, ready to drive. It's going to be towed tomorrow morning to the spot that we checked out yesterday. This is a beautiful farm. I'll show it to you when we get there, but it is the perfect location. I'm so happy. The reason it's getting towed is because although it's drivable, it's not MOT'd or insured, so you're gonna have to tow it. It's gonna be much easier. Well, I say it's drivable, but I don't think it's been started up in a year, so I'm gonna try and turn it over now and just see if we can get the engine started, because once we're on the land, it'll be nice to drive it into position. But yeah, check this out. This is a million cobwebs under here, super dusty, so I think I'm gonna just hoover all this up first, and then we'll give it a go. It is running, baby. It's purring like a kitten. My dad is just finishing up painting the roof. He got down here early this morning. He's been an amazing help. So we've got a blue roof now. I'm gonna go around and start cleaning up and figuring out where we need to paint. Do another coat of spray paint on this, paint this black. Just lots of like detail stuff now, like touching up all this. So this is the doors before, and this is the doors after. The doors are pretty much done. Maybe we're gonna do some varnish on them, but I think they're looking great. The roof looks good. I've just put up this curtain rail and I've found these little hooks that have come off the back of the curtains, these little hooks here. So I am gonna try and hook these. So it goes. I'm going to measure out and put these little ceiling clips in for the next curtain rail, and then I need to cut it to length and then clip it in like I did the other side. There you go, check that out. These are the double layered curtains. I think they look a bit better than I took the backs off these ones because they went a bit mouldy. I think those two look nicer. Curtains done. Right, my dad's doing the final coat of blue on this outdoor hatch.
It's a bit blowy out here.
Check how good this brush is for getting all this moss off. So I'm going to go around and just clean up all this moss that's grown in the seams. It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot of these. Just cleaning up all of this residue and stuff. It's like even the little bits in there. Right, okay, so I am going to drive the bus for the first time in years. Driving the bus for the first time in years.
That didn't sound good.
We have a little issue. I saw what that noise was. Have you seen the back? The back door was flapping open. Oh my gosh, driving the bus again after so many years makes me want to take this on the road, but for the meantime we'll get it parked up and renting out, but maybe one day we'll go on a tour. That was the original plan. it in here. Think that's all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
So, Louis, what's going?
Well, we just repositioned the bus because we've got a diesel-powered jet washer here and we're going to clean it up before it moves tomorrow morning. It's 8 AM, we're heading over to the yard where the bus has been parked for the last 5 years, pretty much. And today is the day that the bus gets moved. It's getting towed or recovered to the location where we're going to have it parked up and rented out. It is drivable. I could have driven there, but we would have had to get the MOT, insurance, all of that jazz. So there's a guy meeting us there now. He's going to lift it up into the back of his tow truck thing. I don't know even what they are. There's huge ones that tow lorries and buses and stuff. And then we are going down to the farm where we checked out the other day, and I'm just so excited and pumped. And my dad has been a legend helping me out the last week and a bit. Thanks, Dad. So hopefully today we'll get the majority of the finishing touches done. I think it's going to be evolving, obviously. We've already talking about phase 2, what kind of things we want to get on the bus and change, but hopefully tomorrow, after our final leg of work today, me and Raya can come and stay on the bus and have an experience and show you guys what it would be like to stay on there, and hopefully we'll get the hot tub up and running. Right, the bus is going up. Just spoke to the guy. He's blown an airbag on the recovery truck and it's unusable. Reflecting under these floorboards is just a pond of water. And I think that when that's pulled out, that's just gonna be like a fountain.
Let's see, ready?
Wow. I mean, that's where the leak's coming from.